4 o'clock, and I'd like to call this Board of Commissioners February 11th meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Krieger.
Yes.
Begic.
Here.
Coonan.
Here.
Herrick.
Here.
Ryder.
Here.
Lutz.
Here.
Durancheck.
Here.
All present.
Thank you. Please rise for the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Right after the invocation, we're going to have a moment of silence for Eugene Heranda, a former Bay County Commissioner and Bay County Road Commissioner.
Heavenly Father, we come before you this afternoon, thanking you for the guidance and understanding that you have given this Board of Commissioners. Lord, we ask again today for your help and direction so this board may make the fair and proper decisions for all citizens of Bay County. In your holy name we ask this. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Did you get your pen down? Did you get your pen? I had one.
Thank you. Before you, Commissioners, we have minutes of January 14th and January the 21st. What's your pleasure?
I'll move them.
Support.
We have motion and support to approve the minutes of 114 and 121. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. At this time, we're going to go into citizen input. It's being the board chair, we're going to limit the time to speak to 3 minutes. Everybody's going to get a chance to speak. We're going to be very courteous to one another. Everyone, it's America. Everyone has their own views on issues. We asked to help out the clerk's office because they keep track of, who said what and everything else. In that first pew right here, you will see a tablet with some ink pens. Please print your name and your address before you come to the podium. What I'm going to do is I'll call on a person to come up to start, and then we'll have a person on deck that will sit in the spot that's open there next to Nikki.
The hot seat.
Okay, public comment, now is your time. Anyone has anything they want to say, please come forward. If you don't mind, sir, you can start it off by printing your name and address on there. And anyone else who wants to be also up next to speak, raise your hand. Yes, ma'am. Good to go. Thank you. Yep, you can go.
My name is Podrick Engel, and I'm the chair for the movement to establish Bay County as a Second Amendment sanctuary county. I've reached out to all of you on email, and I've only heard back from one of you. We introduced the resolution last month, and from what I see, there was one section that made the majority of you nervous. And it was your opinion that it overstepped your authority in the direction of the sheriff and the prosecuting attorney. What our resolution said was it supports you support the sheriff and the prosecuting attorney's discretion to not enforce against any citizen any unconstitutional firearms law. That's it. I don't know how that's overstepping your authority. It's just showing your support for the sheriff and the attorney. So I'm kind of at a loss here why it was reworded. I would like to say thank you for reaffirming or being willing to reaffirm your oaths to the U.S. and Michigan Constitution. But there's also no wording in the new resolution of establishing Bay County as a Second Amendment sanctuary. So kind of at a loss. What I would like to do is request a vote on the original resolution as we introduced it. And I don't care if it's a unanimous no. We want to know where you stand. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak? Thank you. Come ahead, ma'am.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Kristen McDonald-Rivet. I will be very brief. I am here before you today to support the amended resolution that Commissioner Lutz is offering. I think, and thank you for your overwhelming response and listening to the community. It's a good compromise. There was a lot of concern that the original language actually circumvented the separation of powers and the importance of the judiciary in deciding constitutionality on various, on different laws. I think this is a good solution for Bay County. It's a good solution for families and supports this community's strong belief in the Second Amendment. So I think it's a great compromise and commend you all for your support of it. Thank you.
Thank you. And the next person up, anyone? No, I understand. Just a minute. Is there anybody else who wants to speak?
Yeah.
After, I'm sorry, Judge.
All right, Chair, Mr. Chairperson, members of the board, County Executive Barsha and staff. I'm Karen Ty. I do reside in Bay County, unlike a lot of people here, I believe. I'm the retired probate judge for Bay County, and I'm speaking in that capacity with my past experience. I'm here to support Commissioner Lutz's common sense resolution to the request by the gun from some of the Second Amendment supporters to declare Bay County to be a gun sanctuary community. You know, in my whole lifetime, I remember people saying they're coming to take our guns. And I'm wondering who they is. You know, in our lifetime, we have made Michigan an open carry state, very few restrictions about where a person can openly carry a gun who doesn't have a concealed weapons permit. We have abandoned the gun boards, which were a discretionary way for community people elected, you know, our prosecutor, our county clerk, and our sheriff, to use their discretion, knowing somebody's reputation, to say they shouldn't have a gun. Those have been abolished. And now we're basically a must-carry, must-issue state. So where is this fear tactic coming from that somebody's coming to take our guns? You know, I think everybody here supports the Second Amendment. It's an inalienable right that we have along with the First Amendment. We have First Amendment rights to free speech, but it doesn't mean you can stand up in a crowded theater and claim fire and put other people at risk. We have a First Amendment right to freedom of assembly, but you can't have a rally in the middle of the fast lane of I-75. These are for public safety issues that some laws are enacted, and that includes common sense restrictions that sometimes deal with the Second Amendment right to bear arms. And I'm not opposed to that Second Amendment at all, but I do believe that when Corporation Counsel looked at the resolution that some of the Second Amendment supporters have proposed, an accurate legal argument was made for the fact that we have three branches of government, and the legislature passes laws, and the judges decide on whether or not these laws are constitutional. We don't give to private citizens, and God help us, to our law enforcement officers, the right to determine on the street that I'm not going to enforce this law because some people don't like it or don't think it's constitutional. That's not how our system of government works. And as just one quick reminder, you know, the assault weapons ban was passed by Congress in the 1980s. And it was allowed to expire 20 years later, and that was in 2004. And you know what? That's 15 and a half years ago. And George Bush was our president at that time. And nobody brought back, even during the Obama era, brought back the assault weapons, and if they did, they were shut down. There's been no appetite among Congress to reinstate a ban on assault weapons. And so I'm not sure where the fear comes from, where people are saying they're coming to take our guns, and so you have to make a preliminary judgment that people don't have to enforce laws that haven't been even enacted yet. The red flag laws have lost their oomph in the Michigan legislature. That hasn't come about. So I would urge you to vote yes on Commissioner Lutz's resolution today and put an end to this so that we have a decision today about it. Thank you.
Thank you. The next person that would like to come up to speak.
Commissioners,
Yes.
my name is Marilyn Super, 1101 Center Avenue. I'm a hunter. My parents went pheasant hunting together, and we carry our rifles and shotguns for hunting. And this proposal is absolutely kind of confusing, and I believe that if it's not broken, it should not be fixed. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Earl Lackey. I'm running for the United States Congress in the 5th Congressional District right here. I'm in support of the original resolution that was brought forth to you, and I'm urging you to sign it the way it was. For some simple reasons, it was stated that where are these fears coming from? Well, I can tell you right now where they're coming from. Have you watched TV? Virginia. People are dying because of unconstitutional laws. And yes, she stated it, red flag laws, and they are not dead. They are still pushing them in the Michigan legislature. They're still trying to get them enacted, and we are trying to prevent that here. Like down in Aranac County, we have the full support of the board, 100%. We also have the support of the sheriff. We have the support of the prosecuting attorney there. Your neighboring county has gone along with this resolution as written, 100%. We're asking you to do the same thing, not with the new resolution, okay? Because we want to stay unified across the state, all 83 counties. That's why we're asking you to sign it this way, because counties have already done it. They're on board. We're going to get more, because we already are hearing prelims from other county boards that they're going along with our resolution. If we don't, and these red flag laws are allowed to be instituted, you're going to hear two words that no officer ever wants to hear come over the radio. Shots fired. I've got a brother that carries 4 bullets around his neck that were meant for him. I pray to God every day and thank that he's still alive. But if we have these laws enacted and you don't go along with the resolution the way it was written, you will hear those two words. And you will be part of that problem if we let those laws become enacted. We need to stand together as a state and stop this from happening like it's happening in Virginia. Otherwise, we all will have blood on our hands. And when that call goes out, it's either going to be one of these gentlemen in a uniform or one of your constituents. And just so you know, we started this program a little after Christmas with 50 people on board on a Facebook page. We are close to 100,000 right now and growing by the day. These are the people that vote for you. Thank you, and God bless.
Would the next person that would like to speak after this lady please sign in? Thank you. Hi.
Kathleen Nemec, and I live in Garfield Township, and I'm a turkey hunter, and I'm all for the sanctuary gun county. And like Earl was referring to in Virginia, we just don't know what the governor's, which the governor of Virginia is very anti-gun. And, Chicago and New York have the strictest gun laws, and Chicago has the most killings. So I just think it's really important that we can be a gun sanctuary county and stand your ground. Thank you.
Thank you. Would the next person after this gentleman that would like to speak please come in and sign up?
Hi, my name's Keith Lambert, and I support the Second Amendment fully. I also support the amendment as written that was delivered to you. I would like to see that voted on by everyone in here. Like Earl was saying, you know, yay or nay. Just we need to know where everybody is, and we can work from there. And, you know, everybody's on board around the area. There's, I believe it's 14 different states right now that have either enacted or are looking at the red flag law currently. They're also looking at doing all kinds of different restrictions and different ways to call a gun or something that's not a gun now, and all these, you know, different attachments and everything else. They're trying to restrict everything, and that's what we're trying to not necessarily get away from, because we do need something, but at the same time, the Second Amendment says no restrictions whatsoever, in my opinion. It's just that simple. I'm looking for a vote here today, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Ma'am, anyone else? Next person up after this lady? Please sign in. Go ahead.
All right. Christy Trask, Pinconning. I'm not good at ad-libbing, so I wrote something up. I'm standing here today in support of the Second Amendment Sanctuary Resolution that was submitted in January 14th. The people that you represent have requested this of you to ensure that we have the support of our local government to protect our rights. More than 13 states have already passed red flag or other unconstitutional gun regulations. Our own state government shows signs that they will begin to take aggressive action to restrict the right to bear arms to law-abiding citizens. This is our reality. The change will start slowly and creep into legislature as red flag or common sense gun laws and quickly expand to include weapons that are scary to those without firearms education or exposure. This is simply not what we want to see in Bay County, or Michigan for that matter. I'm not popular in my support of most current gun laws. I don't gripe about the background checks or the requirement to be trained properly to conceal carry. This, however, is where the line should be drawn. We truly need your support and your voice in legislation to keep this evil at bay. The government at all levels will make a bigger impact supporting the improvement of mental health and addiction programs to improve the safety of the people. A bad guy with a gun isn't going to follow the laws. In many cases, due to the rural logistics of our county, most people will only have the protection of a good guy with a gun when and if the time comes. It's my understanding that rather than voting on the resolution as presented tonight, a statement affirming the board's support of constitutional rights in general has been drafted, because the resolution submitted supposedly exceeds Bay County's authority by directing the activities of the sheriff or prosecutor. This interpretation is simply not correct. The original resolution specifically states that the board affirms its support to Bay County Sheriff and Prosecuting Attorney to exercise their sound discretion to not enforce against citizens of unconstitutional firearms law. This in no way directs activities of the sheriff or prosecutor. So today, we are asking that at least 2 of you motion and support the said motion to vote on the Second Amendment Sanctuary Resolution as originally written. Your constituents need to know that you have our backs when it comes time to protect our Second Amendment rights in the political arena as it becomes more aggressive in their attacks against legal gun ownership. So, thank you for your time and consideration of this matter tonight.
My name is Jan Rentz, and I live at 1800 24th Street, Bay City. And I guess I don't understand this. I read on the internet, I don't understand this, but as I see it, we already have Second Amendment rights. So why do we need to vote again on Second Amendment rights? And I also think that from what I read, the red flag law is that if you suspect that someone is in danger of doing something criminal, that you can take their guns away. Do we want to give something like that up? You know, when adult mental health has people they're concerned about, they many times take their guns away from them and their weapons, and I think they should still be able to do that. So if I don't understand this, what you're requesting, I understand, but I think there are already too many guns, and I'm not opposed to guns, and I don't want to take guns away from people, but all the bump stocks and the assault rifles, you know, our kids aren't safe in the schools. I have a friend who has a perfect solution for the schools, and she says we have a couple prisons that are empty here, so we should straighten out the prisons and put our kids in the prisons so they're safe in school, so we can send them to prison to school. Several years ago, Archie Bunker had a series on there, and it was when people were hijacking airplanes. And at that time, after the news, you could go up and after the news and go on television and give your opinion. And Archie got up and he had one of his butt cheeks on the stool, and he said his solution to everybody hijacking the airplanes was to give everybody a rod when they get on the plane. And I laughed about that for years, and you know what? It's not funny anymore. So I think we need some gun provisions. I don't want to take guns away from everyone, but I think we need some gun provisions. So thank you.
Anyone else that would like to speak after this gentleman, please sign in. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you for listening to me. My name is Eric Ladwish. I am a member of the 2A Sanctuary movement on Facebook, which, like Earl had mentioned, started on Christmas evening and quickly grew to, it's almost to 100,000 people today. Some of you may not be aware of that, but it's a huge community of people who support this sanctuary movement. And what I'm asking of you and what our 100,000 members are asking today, because our sanctuary resolution is not on your agenda, is we need one of you commissioners to make a motion for our sanctuary resolution, and then we need another commissioner to second it, just so we can have a vote. That's all our 100,000 members are looking for. We're looking for an up or down vote on our resolution. If y'all vote no, y'all vote no. That's on the record. But to not vote on it, to me, is cowardly, and our 100,000 members are going to see that, because whatever happens today is going to be posted, and everybody's going to see, 100,000 people are going to see what happened here today. So please make a motion and at least vote on it for us, please. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Elaine Cohaney, Monitor Township. I didn't understand what sanctuary city meant. I knew what it meant originally, but over the last few weeks I kept hearing sanctuary city, sanctuary city. I was down in the Detroit area and listened to a lawyer that we were doing business with, and was talking about a meeting and having to deal with the sanctuary city. And I said, well, what's that all about? And they said, well, it's about guns. And I said, guns? And they said, yes, they want sanctuary city so that anybody that comes in has a right to do whatever they want, unless if I'm misinterpreting, unless the prosecutor, the sheriff department, at their discretion decides to do something about it. I don't live in Virginia. I live in Bay County. And as far as I'm concerned, my feeling is, Virginia wants to pass that law. If other states, other communities want to pass that law, that's fine. I'm just not sure it fits in with Bay County. As far as I'm concerned, when anybody takes an oath for an office, they support every amendment, or every constitutional amendment. So the Second Amendment was backed up when you took your oaths of office. And to change it around, this is another thing I learned a long time ago. When somebody pushes this hard, there's a reason behind it. And I've been trying to figure out that reason, and I've asked all around as this is all has come up. And I can't get an answer. First of all, where is the general office of this group that is going from state to state, county to county? Where's the money coming from? Who's backing them up? I tend to think it's a large group, like they have said, that's nationwide. I'm just really concerned about passing And you've already done that with your oath. I'm concerned about putting it on paper as a resolution, and I'm concerned about putting it anywhere where eventually it can be used against you somehow. Because to put this much force into passing a resolution that will end up on paper, they're not just doing it because they want to see if you're going to do it. There's got to be a reasoning behind it, because they're all over the state and they're all over the country. So think twice about, you already took your oath, you did that, and you, at that point, you said, I will, back the Constitution. I can't see reaffirming it. But anyway, thank you. Time's up.
Hello, I'm Howard Wetters from Call Collins, here to speak in support of the resolution that you have on your agenda today. I think it reiterates and reaffirms the oath that you all took when you were sworn into your office. And that is, above all, your most and highest calling. There are a lot of people who've gotten up here and talked about the fact that they don't think laws are constitutional. Fortunately for the rest of us in this society, what they think doesn't much matter, in the sense that the only people who get to really interpret, and what I think doesn't much matter either, but they are the only people who really interpret the Constitution and the Bill of Rights are the 9 justices of the Supreme Court. And years ago, there was a court case of Heller versus the District of Columbia, which gun rights advocates often point to as where the Supreme Court reaffirmed that there is a right to bear arms and to carry them. Also in that decision, partially authored by none other than Anthony Scalia, not a known liberal, was the additional commitment that gun rights are limited, and they can be limited, and they have been limited. We haven't been able to carry automatic weapons since the 20s. There are other kinds of weapons that are banned in this country. I'm not here to advocate for banning more of them or leaving them on the streets, but I just want to commend all of you for recognizing your responsibilities to your local office, and for recognizing that the sheriff and the prosecutor in this county have taken a similar role, and that they are bound to enforce all the laws that come down, not just the ones that a group or even a majority of the people disagree. So I would encourage you to vote for the resolution you have on your agenda, and I thank you for sticking up for the rights of everyone, not just the people that happen to show up and have a given agenda.
Thank you. Is there anyone else at this time? Public comment? If not, thank you very much for all your comments. We'll proceed with our agenda. Petitions and Communications. Resolution number 2020-15, Bay County Board of Commissioners resolution affirming the board's support of constitutional rights, supported by Commissioner Michael Lutz. I'd like a roll call vote on this, please.
I'd like to move that resolution, Mr. Chairman.
I'm sorry.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to address both the TV audience and those that are here. The Board of Commissioners is, by passing this resolution, reaffirming our commitment to serve you. We also reaffirm our oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America and the state of Michigan. We will, by our action, continue to support our Second Amendment rights as one of our laws. We do not have the power to tell the sheriff or the prosecuting attorney of Bay County how to do their job or selectively do their job. They took the same oath as we did to uphold the constitutions of the country and of the state. If you want to control this right under the Constitution, then you must support those who serve us at the state and federal offices that actually make these laws. If we fail to support and elect those people to office, we will fail to have our rights upheld, as those offices have the power to enact new laws restricting our rights. Your power in this issue and any issue is your power to the vote. And you need to go to the polls and vote for the people that you want in Washington to represent you, that the people in Lansing to represent you, so that you don't have to be concerned about whether you can carry a gun, whether it be open carry, whether it be hunting, whether it be concealed weapons. But you got to put the people there. The people sitting at this table right here does not have the power to enact those laws. We are acting as we are elected to do the business of the County of Bay, and that's to be administrative support to our administrator here, our elected county executive. Take care of the finances and use your money wisely and make things work the way they're supposed to. That's what we're here to do. And that's why I brought forth this resolution to you today. That we are committed to supporting your Second Amendment rights. I have concealed weapons. I'm a hunter. I have all sorts of guns. Okay? We use them wisely, we'll keep them. We use them unwisely, the people in that little black car over there will come get it. Okay? So if we take care of our laws and follow our laws, we will maintain our rights. Thank you.
Anyone else? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Begic,
Yes.
Commissioner Coonan,
Yes.
Commissioner Herrick,
Yes.
Commissioner Ryder,
Yes.
Commissioner Lutz,
Yes.
Commissioner Krieger,
Yes.
Commissioner Durancheck.
No. Motion passes.
Motion passes.
Next up, Petitions and Communications, Resolution 2020-01. Enbridge support of Line 5 construction, brought forward by myself and Commissioner Begic.
I'll move it.
Support.
We have motion and support. Discussion. Commissioner?
Is anybody from Enbridge here?
No.
Be nice to be able to ask a question.
They were here last month. Remember? They gave a presentation last month. That was Enbridge. They were here.
It's on the agenda. It wasn't on the agenda last month.
Any other discussion? We have a motion and support.
Was there a question, Commissioner Coonan, that anybody could answer here, or no?
Probably not.
Okay.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Reports and resolutions of committees. Ways and Means, Chairman Herrick.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I bring before you resolution number 2020-16, the grant application for the year 2020, the SRP Capital 416 contract adjustment request from the sheriff. I move that resolution.
We have, excuse me, we have motion and support. Any discussion? Commissioner Coonan?
Yes, Jan, I just wanted to, I know this has been around a number of years, but the maintenance of effort, where we have the 23 officers, and we get funding for 3 additional officers, plus probably cars, is that still in effect on this particular?
I'm not real sure on the cars. The road patrol one that we had,
But there's additional funding other than the $29,980?
Yes,
Okay.
that's just the adjustment.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we have the maintenance of effort, we get the 3 positions paid for by the state, or funded by the state.
Correct.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried.
Resolution number 2020-17, the 2020 Marine Safety Program. I move that resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried.
Resolution number 2020-18, the 2020 Bay County Remonumentation Plan. I move that resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Resolution number 2020-19, I quit claim deed for 1791 North Knight Road, Sixville, Michigan. I move that resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried.
Resolution number 2020-20, Fairgrounds Improvements. I move that resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried.
Resolution number 2020-21, HVAC purchase for 911 Central Dispatch. I move that resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Resolution number 2020-22, Public Safety Intergovernmental Agreement. I move that resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Resolution number 2020-23, St. Patrick's Day Parade Hospitality Tent on Bay County property. I move that resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried.
Resolution number 2020-24, Penn County Park Improvements Bathhouse Project Agreement. I move that resolution.
Support.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Resolution number 2020-25, the Bay Aranac Intermediate School District Contract. I move that resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Resolution number 2020-26, the 2020 Dog and Cat Adoption Events. I move that resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Resolution number 2020-27, the resolution of intent to create Brownfield Redevelopment Authority and the scheduled public hearing for 3/10/2020. I move that resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Resolution number 2020-28, the Fetch GIS agreement with Amalgam LLC. I move that resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Resolution number 2020-29, the control material bids. I move that resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign.
Resolution number 2020-30, light trap contracts. I move that resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried.
Resolution number 2020-31, the tire shredding contract. I move that resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Resolution number 2020-32, acceptance of continuation of local public health opioid grant funding. I move that resolution.
Support.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Resolution number 2020-33, payables and general. I move that resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Mr. Chairman, that is all from the Ways and Means Committee.
Thank you, Commissioner Herrick. From Personnel and Human Services, Tom Ryder, Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have Resolution 2020-34, Memorandum of Understanding for Gastrointestinal Illness Outbreak Investigation Assistance. I'll move this resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried.
Resolution 2020-35, vacancies in 911 Central Dispatch, Sheriff's Office, Department on Aging, Finance Department, Mosquito Control, a new position, Informational System. I will move this resolution.
Support. We have motion and support. Any discussion? Commissioner Coonan.
The new position, can we get a little bit of background on what took place and what's going on now? Is that a full-time, part-time position, or?
Sure. We had a full-time position in IT that was a programmer, and based on the computer system that we use now, we don't need programmers. So we took that time. She retired, so there was not a loss of employment there, but once she retired, we determined our needs of what the department itself needed. We actually decided that we needed help in more of a clerical support, so it was more of the help desk being able to understand all of the computer systems we use in the different areas, our jail system, our munis system, so that we could offer support to the users who are calling in and needing help. That position, the new position, will actually do that, plus all of the invoicing and paying and talking to the vendors. That was being done down in my office by my secretary, who is now, that position was vacant and now refilled. But that work was being done downstairs because there wasn't somebody upstairs. We had lost a half-time position a ways back, which was that person. So it was a savings overall because the programmer was more expensive than what this IT specialist is that we're calling. But we're using it as a support person so that we can get the answers of the users done quickly so that they can get back to work and keep the flow going.
How long has that been vacant?
July.
Was it in the budget?
It was in the budget and then was taken out of the budget at the end. And so I came back asking for that position to be recreated.
So you lost a half-time position when we cut back.
That was a ways back.
And now-
Lydia was in that position when I first started, but that was not, and so this is just filling of the vacancy at a lesser amount. So we're not asking for another position. It was, except we are because it was taken out of the budget.
Is this a full-time position?
Yes, it is.
You know, the only thing I ask these questions for is because, you know, other departments see, or elected officials see we're filling a new position, and everybody kind of comes up every month and we're filling these positions because we need them. I mean, you know, when we go to fill in your position, then I would be probably bet that next month we're going to get somebody else who wants to fill a position, and that's why I'm kind of hesitant on filling it, but making sure that I'm asking questions, because I don't think we're in a position where we're going to start filling additional positions.
And this is in a sense, a replacement of a position. We got rid of one.
We've been doing it for
so
8 months, though. We've been doing it for 8 months, right?
Correct, with the help of my office, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Anyone else? All those in favor? Commissioner Lutz.
Have you been doing it efficiently for the last week?
Most of the time, yes. We struggle with just, some of the vendor stuff takes a while and getting things done, you know. It's a little bit harder from the IT side to keep what they're purchasing and different things straight. So it's a little bit harder because my person didn't have the IT knowledge of everything too. So it was just a back and forth between Julie, but yes, we did.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
So Resolution 2020-36, leave of absence for Jane Good. I would move this resolution.
Support.
We have motion support. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried.
That's all we have before you today, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. From the Board of Commissioners, Michael Lutz, Vice Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I bring before the board today Resolution 2019-37, which is the reports of the county executive. I move to receive.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried.
And that's all I have from
Thank
the
you.
Board of Commissioners, Mr. Chairman.
Reports of the county officials. County Executive, Mr. James Barsha.
Well, I would defer to possibly our great manager of animal services to talk, and adoption center, to talk a little bit about something that's disturbing, a little trend among some of our younger set with a new app on their phones. And other than that, I don't have much. I know I could speak about Trevor Keys, of course, his appointment. He's certainly, oh, that's what you did call me first. I thought we were below. Yeah, Trevor Keys, as you know, indicated an interest in serving on the Workforce Development Board with Michigan Works. He has an extensive history in Bay County native, and has worked as the CEO of Bay Future for several years. I think we all are familiar with Trevor, so I would ask for your approval for his appointment.
So you're looking for a motion and support for resolution number 2020-38.
So moved. Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Anything else, Mr. Varsha?
No, later we'll have something. Thanks.
Unfinished business. New business. Miscellaneous.
You got some down here.
Sorry there. Commissioner Krieger, please.
I know, I've been a little church mouse today. What I'd like to do is bring up something we've talked in the past, and I'll come to Amber. And it happens to deal with situations we have in different townships dealing with ordinances. One in particular is sound. And I know that we have a county-wide ordinance that's in question that we're going to look at changing or doing away with. But what I'm hoping is that maybe your office can work with our township supervisors to put together a resolution that they could bring before their trustees so that we can put some teeth into being able to give our residents some relief if they have someone that likes to step over their ability to have a quality of life. So if maybe you can address where we're at with our Bay County resolution in reference to us trying to have a blanket that isn't going to work.
Sure, and we've discussed this before, and there were some ideas that were thrown around between different commissioners in terms of what we wanted to do. Do we want to completely rescind the noise ordinance, or do we want to amend the noise ordinance so it's applicable only to county properties, which are really the two options that the board has in front of it. And I don't know what the consensus is in terms of what the board has decided it wants to do. My preference is to simply rescind the ordinance because I think you run into some difficulties if you start passing noise ordinances with regards to county-owned properties, because those county-owned properties are also located within other municipalities, and if that municipality has a conflicting noise ordinance, there's a question as to what should apply. Noise doesn't stop at the boundary of any parcel of real property. And the other difficulty that you have is that many of our venues are venues such as the fairgrounds, and we have our figure eight derbies, we have the fair. All of those generate a fair amount of activity, and I don't know if the county wants to start getting into the business of enforcing its own noise ordinance against itself or its tenants. So it would be my preference to simply just eliminate the noise ordinance in its entirety. I have provided you with a copy of an Attorney General opinion which buttressed my research regarding whether or not a countywide noise ordinance was enforceable. As the board is aware, just as with the Second Amendment Sanctuary City resolution, this board is a statutorily created body, and you have to work within the confines of what powers the statutes give you. And we can pass a dog licensing ordinance because there is a dog law at the state level. Unfortunately, there's no noise law at the state level that allows counties to pass those ordinances. So the suggestion has been, I've been in discussion with the prosecutor about this, as well as several constituents that have called with some frustration because they're stating, well, we have a noise ordinance, but it's not being enforced by the prosecutor. And my response was because we told her that the ordinance itself is unenforceable at this point. But the best resolution is for the different townships, villages, and cities to pass their own noise ordinances. The city of Bay City does have a noise ordinance of its own that it enforces quite effectively, and I believe that those other townships could do so. I'd be more than happy to provide them with some blanket noise ordinances that have been upheld by different townships and municipalities in the past.
Okay, so Bay City does have one?
Bay City does.
And so if a person is issued a citation, am I understanding then that our prosecutor is seeing to it that it's taken care of?
The city attorney would do that.
The city attorney?
Yes, because it would be a city ordinance. So the county prosecutor only prosecutes those county ordinances and state laws. And unless they have a separate written agreement with the different municipalities, that they will agree to prosecute their ordinance violations. So really, what the county prosecutor does is based on what law is violated. Is it a local municipal law? Is it a state law? Is it a county law? And if it's a local municipal law, absent a written agreement between that municipality and the county, then it would be the municipality's attorney that prosecutes those offenses.
Okay. So I guess what I would do at this point is encourage us commissioners to go back to our townships that we represent and talk with the supervisors to encourage them to maybe make contact with you to share possible resolutions that are out there from other townships, that they could put something together so that this summer individuals that are having issues can do something about it.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Do you have a draft noise ordinance from a township or anything to work with?
I can certainly get a number of them from different townships that have passed.
That we could provide to them?
Sure.
Because I know a couple of years ago, I had, in my district, we had a severe noise issue, and the sheriff's department did their due diligence. Everything was, we had it all documented and everything else, but the prosecutor decided she didn't want to prosecute it. So that was probably the reason, because they didn't have, okay.
Sure. Because
We got to make sure we, back up our guys that are going out there for the call, too.
Sure. A lot of the local municipalities do not have those ordinances, in large part because sometimes they're difficult to enforce, depending on how the ordinance itself is written.
Okay. All right, very good. Thank you.
Sure.
Anyone else? Yes, Commissioner.
Representative Elder's office called me yesterday, and he'd like to have a meeting to talk about some legislation he has on veterans issues. Tentatively, it's 21st, next week, Friday, 12:30, but he hasn't gotten back with me on an exact time for that, so he's interested in a lot of the staff and whoever's interested to attend. So I'll let you know when it's finalized. Don't know yet. It's in the area, in the building here.
Okay.
Jim?
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I would just add that I'd like to be part of that discussion, hopefully Craig as well. We've been doing great work in the Veterans Department, and Mr. Chairman of the committee, we thank you for all your time and energy you've been spending on this. Hopefully the legislation won't diminish our ability to help our veterans in Bay County, and one of the earlier versions of the bill sounds like it may have done that. So it's important that we communicate to Representative Elder that we would like to advance our work on behalf of veterans in Bay County through our new Department of Veterans Affairs. So yeah, that'll be an important meeting. Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you. Anyone else? New business? No new business. Miscellaneous. Announcements. Mr. Goulet, how are you today?
Good, Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Thank you.
Just real quick, as Mr. Barsha touched on, we did a press release today, and I'm going to be specific or vague on a couple portions of it because there is an ongoing investigation that's taking place here in Bay County. But we were made aware of this, what appears to be a trend on a social media outlet that individuals are posting videos of themselves tossing or throwing animals that appear to be theirs into the air, and then they slow the motion down and put music to this video. And we wanted to make sure that parents and the public were aware of this because a lot of the individuals are young, a lot are minors, and wanted to make sure that parents are aware of obvious safety reasons for both the animal and for the people that could potentially be injured from this. The dogs and cats and other animals that trust you for their care are only going to tolerate this type of behavior for so long before something happens. So that was, to Mr. Barsha's point, a press release that we put out today, and again wanted to make sure we educated the constituents here in Bay County to be aware of what their family members and loved ones are doing, and then sharing with the world. There were with a quick search, there were several videos that popped up, so we knew this was larger scale than just isolated just Bay County. On a happier note, just real quick, we're just coming off a couple nice programs. We had a catnap cafe and a very successful puppy yoga class at the shelter. This Friday, we're having a Lonely Hearts adoption party. We're going to have a couple dogs over at Tri-City Brewing Company. There's going to be a food truck, and we're going to have Polly and Lissa, a couple of our wonderful dogs available over there so people can come meet them. And we're going to be there from 6 to 8. And then the following Saturday on the 22nd, we're going to be at the City Market. There's going to be a chef there making homemade dog treats, and people are more than welcome to bring donations for that program as well. So a lot of good things coming up.
Good job. Thank you. Any other announcements? 2020 appointments in March, Bay Area Behavioral Health Authority. June, we have a library board. October, Land Bank Authority. And also Department of Health and Human Services Board of Directors. In November, Building Authority. In December, Department on Aging Advisory Committee. 4 two-year terms, districts, these are appointments by commissioners for districts 2, 4, and 6, and 1 at large. Any need for a closed session, ma'am?
There is not, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Move to adjourn.
Support. It's always in order. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Same sign.